everybody, welcome back. I'm Tanya, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you how to create stencils easily in Loklik Idea Studio. So I have been commissioned to create some above door signs onto these wood pieces, and in order to do that I'm going to be painting the text onto this board, and I'm going to create some stencils for that. So I know a lot of us are Cricut users, but recently Loklik has been on the market, well priced at $69.99. And so I had to grab one and try it out for you. And I just want to show you how easy it is to create these stencils in Loklik Idea Studio, and how easy it is to create it actually with the Loklik Crafter. So if you're interested in that, don't go anywhere. We're going to jump right into Loklik Idea Studio right now. All right, so this is Loklik Idea Studio. So as I said, we want to create a stencil to put the names onto these pieces of wood. Unfortunately, the pieces of wood are not all the same. So I'm just going to go ahead and create some templates for each size so that I'm able to size my text correctly. To create my template, I'm just going to go ahead, come up here to shapes, and I'm going to grab a square, click on that, and then to get the shape that you want to go ahead and unlock. Okay, so this is already unlocked. So my first shape is going to be 13 3/4. So the width is going to be, come up here, 13.75. Enter that, and it's going to be 2.75 high. So I'm not including the edges of the boards. I'm just putting in the parts that I can actually paint on. Okay, so we're going to duplicate this. So we're just going to right click and we're going to say copy and paste. And we're going to paste this a couple of times because we have 5 of them. All right, so that should be all we need. Okay, so we have 5 templates, and then we're just going to size them. So this is the first one that's already sized. We have one that is 14 inches wide, and it is also 2.75 high. So we just need to change this to 14. All right. So we have another one that is 11. So that's 11. And this one is also the correct height. Then we have another that is 14. So we can use these arrows to go up as well, but I'll just highlight it. Okay, so now that I have all of my templates in place, so each of these, as I said, represents the piece of wood that we're adding the names to, and I've added my text. So there is one more text. So we just want to go ahead and click on the text. And what I've noticed with the Loklik is that once you click on text, it always comes back to the Aklonica as the font. So, you know, in Cricut Design Space, when you click on the text, it would usually pull up the last font that you used. So it always defaults to the Aklonica, and you have to go in and tell it what you want. So the next one is the Radio Ecological Lab. All right, so I've already set my other names to the font that I want. So to go ahead and do that, once you've typed in it, you need to click out of it and click on it again. And then the font area will be highlighted. So when you click on that, you have access to Loklik fonts. When you want to use a particular font, you need to just click on the download arrow. Once it's downloaded, you can use it. All right. And then, of course, you have your system font. So whatever you have on your system, you have access to that inside of Idea Studio. So the font that I'm using, it is, let me scroll down. It is the Poppins Bold. And there you go. So what I'm going to do is to go ahead and create my stencils. So I'm using the size of each of my boards to determine my stencil essentially. So this particular one is 14.25. And so this is the one that we're going to use for the radio ecological lab. All right. And we sized it that way as well so that we could get a chance to figure out exactly what size our letters need to be as well. So let's go ahead and stretch this out a little bit more. All right. That looks good. All right. So we're just going to go ahead and highlight both the box and the text. And we're just going to come up to the top panel here. And we're going to go to align. And we're going to tell it to align it center horizontally. And we're going to align vertically as well. So we still have this all highlighted. So just like in Design Studio, you can go to Combine or you can go to Slice. I think Slice is not under Combine. So you can go to Slice, and when you slice it, you can remove the pieces to get the stencil. Over here, you have, in the Loklik software, you have Subtract and Overlap, which I like. So I'm just going to click that and it will take away everything. So you have your stencil. So it's that easy. It's super easy to create the stencils here in Idea Studio. So we're going to just go ahead and do the same. So I'm just going to take the shorter names and I'm just going to drop it right here. I'm going to click on Arrange and I'm going to say Bring to Front. And again, I'm just going to go ahead and arrange the name in what looks good to me. Not too wide, not too high. And that looks okay. That looks okay. So again, I'm just going to go ahead and select everybody. And I'm going to say align horizontally. And I'm going to align center vertically. Then I'm just going to click on Combine and Subtract at Overlap. So let's go ahead and I'm going to grab this name. And I'm just going to bring it to this larger one. And again, we're just going to make that larger. That looks good. So to go ahead and cut all of these, we are just going to come over here where it says make. And with the machine, if you click on make, it will not do anything. If you want it to go ahead and make, you need to have these highlighted. All right, you have to have something highlighted for this button to actually come alive. So now we can click on it and it will take us to our mat. All right, so right here on our mat, we can make some adjustments. It's already recognizing my machine because I used the machine a little bit earlier. I wanted to show you how it would connect, but I can do that in another video. So right now I'm connected by Bluetooth and we are on cut mode. So we're just going to come over here where it says please select and select standard cut. We're cutting on the 12 by 12 mat and we have a single color. All right, we have a single color, and here you can pick the brand vinyl. So you have the option of Loklik, HTV run, or other. If you're going to be using a Loklik or HTV run vinyl, it has all the settings that you will need. If you click other, then it will prompt you to manually put in your pressure, your speed, that sort of thing. All right. But I'm going to use an HTV run vinyl. And once you've selected that, it will ask you for the type of vinyl that you're going to be using. So we're just going to go all the way down, and we're going to pick a matte permanent vinyl with a plastic carrier. All right. Okay. So once you've done that, it will prompt, there's an option for you to mirror it if you are going to be doing HTV. And so we're not going to do that. And we just add to task. So when you add to task, okay, so this was my previous task. So you can see what your tasks are if you didn't use it. So I'm just going to go ahead and delete that one. This is the current task. All right. So all you need to do now is to go to your machine, load up your vinyl so you can add your vinyl to your mat, put it in your machine and hit load here, and it will load it, or you can load it directly from the machine. You can hit start here and it will start the cutting process. So I'm just going to go and head over to the machine and we'll start cutting. Okay guys, so here is the Loklik machine. So if you've never seen it before, yes, it does look a lot like the Cricut Explorer Air 2. Just like the Cricut Explorer Air 2, you do have a storage compartment underneath here. And this is pretty much the same. This is for your pens or your scoring tools, and this is for your blades. It runs pretty much the same. So for your Explorer Air 2, you have a button on the side. To open it, it has a tab right here that you open up, and just like your Cricut, you can start, you can load, you can start, you can pause, and you can power on. So to power on the machine, the Cricut, you just need to press one button and that's it. You need to, or you just press the button once, I should say. This one you need to hold it down. Your Explorer Air 2 has a dial, but as you saw, you can from the software set all of your you can select your cutting materials, and I've actually never really used my dial to select cutting materials. I've always done it from the computer with the Explorer. So this machine is essentially, it works pretty much like your Explorer. So I think it was really cool to get. At the time of purchase, I paid $59.99 for it, and you know how much for an Explorer Air 2 now. For the last couple of weeks, I believe it's been more than a month, this machine has been on Amazon for $69.99, and so I think it's a super great deal. I know the main issue with this machine is that people complain about the software, but as you can see, we were able to set up our stencils. So let's go ahead and set up to cut. All right, so I am using an HTV run vinyl, permanent vinyl. I have placed it onto the Loklik mat. These mats are super sticky. I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm going to put in my mat. Just like your Air 2, you have these grooves on the side here. All right. Okay, so at some point we stopped recording. My SD card was full, but I believe you missed when I loaded the mat. All right, so when you go to load the mat, you would fit it underneath the grooves, just like in the just like with the Cricut Explorer. So we have these knobs here that goes back and forward. It does not actually load the mat. What you need to do is just go to the software and tell it to load, and it will just pull the mat in. All right, so I'm just going to go over to the machine again, and I'm going to press start, and it will start cutting. All right, but what I do know is if you need to pause it, the pause button will work, and if you need to restart it, it will work from here as well. All right, so the Loklik is gonna start cutting out our items. And one of the things I want you to note is just how quiet the Loklik is in comparison to the Cricut and the Silhouette. It is super quiet. It's all done. So I'm just gonna go ahead and unload. And okay, there you go. So you can unload it from here. I don't know why you can't load. Not sure why. But we're just gonna go ahead and weed this out now. All right, so here it is. And then because I'm doing the stencils, it sort of acted as a weeding box, so that should make life easier. So I'm just gonna go ahead and just pull up from the corner and just weed out all the empty spaces. I know we tried to save this vinyl, but because I'm losing vinyl from here, but we're just gonna go ahead and pull this out. So having the because it's a stencil, it just acted pretty much like a weeding box. All right, so let's get that over there. And it's a stencil, so we're gonna go ahead and just pull out all the letters. And that weeded up quite easily. So just making sure to keep the middle pieces of my letters down. That's always the challenge. It's weeding great. Just trying to see the lines. All right, no issues. Okay, so there we go, guys. We have created our stencils with the Loklik Idea Studio. Super quick and easy. And we had a really good cut with the Loklik machine. Loklik machine was nice and quiet, and it cut through really nice and clean. No issues with weeding. I was able to weed quickly. I didn't have any of our middle pieces lifting. So I would say the Loklik machine is really great. So if you're in the market for a cutting machine that is basically on the same level as your Cricut Explorer Air 2, this is a good option. It is very nicely priced. Okay, and I think it did really well. So be sure to give this video a like and subscribe, because the next video to come I will be using the stencils on the wood. I'll show you how to stencil these names onto a piece of wood without any bleed issues. So do come on back for the next video. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.